And one. Everybody, welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I'm your host, Jody Williams, and tonight, the first of two shows. But first things first, I want to put the ladies on the front page. I want to put them on the stage. So my guests are Annie, Milinichik. Did I get that right?
Yep.
I got Sarah Latona and bonus, Miss Bridget. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Unexpected. Here I am. Hi.
Yeah, we were having a practice at our place, and this girl showed up, and I was like, perfect.
Well, good, because on my show, we don't do take twos. We just roll with it, okay?
There
so
we go.
Okay.
There we go.
So first things first, I want to talk about where do you see ladies arm wrestling go? What do you think of this past year, 2022?
Go ahead, Annie.
Oh. I wasn't personally active in going to tournaments or anything, but from what I saw, it seems as there's a lot of newer girls that have come up in the last
Yeah, her too.
in the last few years, which I think is awesome. And
We're doing the thing, Jay.
Yeah. Bridget's your translator now.
And I've noticed more so than anything, because I don't know how many of them who are active have actually been pulling maybe longer than 5 years or so. There's only a few of us that have been pulling for longer than that.
Right.
But I think a lot of them are new, which I think is great.
Yeah.
That's just my observation from social media and, stalking people.
Yes, very much so.
So Sarah, what about you? What did you see as far as 2022? Or we could talk about the King of the Table match between Sarah and Gabby. It seems like those are two kind of, waving the flag of, hey, ladies, it's okay to, arm wrestle, and let's go ahead and make this thing happen.
Yeah.
What did you see in 2022?
Well, that's a perfect example. Having them on King of the Table was awesome. That was the start of it.
Yeah.
And then it just progressed and progressed and progressed, just like Annie said, with adding in social media has gotten so big now that arm wrestling, and especially for women, it's starting to show. It's starting to come out more. More women are being focused on. More women are getting the ability to go, hey, we're athletes too. Let us try. Let us be in on it. You know what I mean? It's been great. I think it's been awesome to be a part of the community that we're a part of.
Mhm.
Annie and I haven't met face to face in person, but I already see her as, one of the girls that I can rely on if I need something with arm wrestling, or if I need to ask her a question about going to nationals, about going to worlds, about how she felt doing stuff like that. Annie, you're gone. Where'd you go?
Oh, we lost. Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
I'm called. Sorry.
So she's one of the people that I can go to. I can ask about stuff, and it's not just her. There's so many women in this sport that want to make the women more prominent in the sport. They want to build the sport for women as well. And, Annie is one of the biggest ones that when it comes to promoting women. Another one is Sarah from Texas. She's another one that loves to promote women as well. And, the two of them, they're great to know, and they're great to be friends with. So I just love where we are and where we're going. Yes, we're not that big yet, but look what happened in UFC. It took one girl, Ronda Rousey, to go, women can do this too. For her to do that, and more women are starting to notice, and they want to be in a sport that has camaraderie.
All it takes is one. Misha Tate, Cyborg,
Yeah.
Holly Holm, the list goes on and on, right?
It just keeps going and going and going and going. Rhonda started it though.
Yeah.
Right.
I think definitely seeing those women at the higher level is definitely inspiring and motivating, and I think could get women more interested, like seeing the Gabby Sarah match on King of the Table, and then Ingen has done a Gabby match, and now she's got another one coming up in January, and the next East vs. West. So that's really exciting and encouraging and motivating when you can see women at that higher level getting that spotlight and getting that, not just because maybe you want that, but also just to encourage other women getting involved, to stay involved, that there is a place for you. I'm like almost exactly like a year in. So 2022 was my first and only experience with arm wrestling. And
She's doing pretty good.
I'm getting there.
She can hold her own.
I'm working on it. I'm dedicated more than anything. So we'll see. But definitely it's been awesome. Annie also I've never met, but she's always super encouraging and like just like a positive force online, like for women, always making you feel like just like positive feedback of like your efforts. And like Sarah was at the first tournament I was at, and like, you know, a lot of people, how their first one goes, you get smoked, but she was super encouraging that day. And I think because we're still growing with the women, I think I've gotten way more positive experiences because we want other women to stay involved. We want to have more competition. We want that to grow. I also think Annie is right. Most of the competitions, I was very active my first year. I probably did almost a tournament every month. I just wanted to just like jump in the deep end and like get as much experience as possible. And most of the women I competed against were still probably within that 2-3 year mark. And then also you do run across people, you know, that have been doing it for years. But it's definitely encouraging, I guess, to see newer people. I can already see though how like there's definitely needs to be more to promote women, and I know that's like a question on a lot of these podcasts people do, like how do we do that, how do we reach out, how do we get more people involved? And I guess that's the conversation we're trying to have here.
I think the biggest thing is time.
Get there. You know, I think and speaking of lady wrestlers, we have Candy Passmore. She said hi to both of you guys, all three of you guys. So
hello, Candy.
Let's talk about WAF Worlds or IFA Worlds, whatever worlds you want to attend. Annie, you've been there and done that. Can you tell the ladies out there, you know, what's it like to sit there on an international level? And, you know, you get to pull not only for yourself or your team or your state, but you're pulling for your country. And it's a little different when you get on that international stage. Could you shed some light on that?
Oh, man. If I think about it too hard, like I'll get real teary-eyed because like I've been lucky enough to represent the United States 3 different times in Canada, Germany, and that was a while ago, but I never thought that I would have USA as an athlete or on my desk. To have that opportunity is.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, honey.
It's really awesome.
I'm telling you.
Complete another level. The competition, and you know, it's not. You're there to like you're there to have fun, but like it's business, and it's a completely different mindset. You know, you're not a restaurant, you're not a bar, you're a arena. It's awesome. And cameras on every table and 2 refs at every table, and they had this giant like jumbo screen with like who was on deck, who you're going, and you're with your, you know, all USA team, you're in a little pack, and I went with Bob Brown, and like I was I remember I was pulling It's Emma Clark. She's not Clark anymore, but I think her name is Violet from Sweden.
Yes.
Yep.
She was my second match at Worlds, and I remember standing there, and I see who I was going against, and her and I we knew each other, so we were standing next to each other, and we looked at each other, and she nodded at me, and I nodded back, and she walked off, and I remember Bob Brown being like, "Can you beat her?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "That's the fastest flash I've ever been flashed in my entire life." But I mean, it's just so different, and I really hope that each lady is able to they're great, but they're not at all.
Right.
At all.
Well, speaking of Worlds, what really, I think shed some light on the situation was Team USA, who went to IFA Worlds in France, and the number of women that took top 3, right? It was astronomical. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, we went there and we actually, excuse my friends, but we was kicking some serious ass this year, and I'm like going, what the hell's going on? And this goes back to what we're saying. How do we get more ladies? Well, I mean, look at it, how many Sarahs do you know in arm wrestling?
Oh my God, that's so true right now.
Seriously.
There's Sarah LaFon. I think she took gold.
Yeah.
We're all pretty awesome too. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Sarah's having that for arm wrestling. I feel like if I meet any Sarahs now, I'd be like,
yeah,
you pull, you should
they're
come
all
on the table.
They're all arm wrestlers.
When you sit there and you see that, and it's like, man, I mean, when Gabby and Backman got to be on the stage, right?
Yeah.
At King of the Table, cool. Then all of a sudden, Ingen goes, okay, Gabby, we'll put you against so-and-so. And now you're fired up. And now here's, Sarah Latona sending shockwaves going to the Monster Factory, beating Rebecca Todd. Earlier than that, I think it was Monster Factory number 2 is when we saw Leanne Wilson and we saw Danielle Everston. They went toe-to-toe. They went actually to match 5, I believe. And just to see that on that stage, that's what you need to do. Don't be afraid to and these are I'm talking to promoters right now, but don't be afraid to put the ladies out there, because if I'm not mistaken, if you go back to that match at the Monster Factory between Leanne and Danielle, I think from start to finish, that might have been the best match on the card.
100%.
And it's
100%.
like to see that. And not only that, but if you actually break things down, there's not too many guys that break down women's matches. I like to break down matches, but watching that go, okay, you got speed versus power. And, watching those two ladies go at it, it was like, okay, well, who's going to get to their move first? We know if it goes inside, Danielle has it. If it goes to a quick outside out of the strap, Leanne has it. So it was like, oh, this is good, because it's, who's going to ying somebody, yang and all that kind of good stuff. So I was excited for that. And it just keeps getting better and better. So, when I ask you girls this question, all 3 of you girls, what do we expect from you 3 in 2023?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I guess for me, everybody has seen it. If you haven't, on my Instagram and my Facebook, my goal is to go to Worlds. That's my goal.
Yeah.
I want to go to WAF. And the biggest reason is because I want to go against the top.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to see where the top is. Whether I fall or whether I place, I don't care. I want the experience. I want to know how those girls feel. Right. I want to see where that power is. And I'm not saying that women in America don't have it. What I'm saying is Europe is completely different. Europe and Asia and Russia, all of those countries over there. Annie, I'm sure you can protest to that. It's completely different.
I think everyone
that's what I want to feel.
Respects the competition level at WAF. Like it's
and that's
elite level.
That's what Gabby told me too. She was like, "Are you going to try to go to Worlds this year?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really want to." And she was like, "Which one are you going to?" And I was like, "I'm not sure." And Gabby was like, go to WEF.
Yeah.
She was like, I have nothing against IFA.
Sure.
But she was like, the caliber of pullers that you get at WAF is completely different than IFA.
Oh, yeah.
Completely different. So, and she told me the same thing. Gabby told me the same thing. You might as well shoot for the top and know where the top is to be able to get over it.
Right.
Yeah.
So hearing that
totally
from
agree.
Gabby, I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
I'd go
Bridget, what is Bridget? What's your plan?
I'm still just trying to get better every day, every week, every month. I just want to see, you know, there's always tangible improvements. You know, you face maybe the same people that beat you before. You hope to beat them next time. Long-term goals, I definitely want to compete at nationals and worlds. I'm not at a world level yet. I can acknowledge that.
I'm not either, and I'm still going. Stop it. But keep up.
But just been making some changes in my life, so don't really have my 2023 plans down yet of where exactly what tournaments I want to hit or not. I know for sure, I'm pretty sure I want to do the LA Fit that's coming up in like 2 weeks. So I'll do California States for sure. That's the only thing I know like definitively right now. I just want to be better and stronger than I've been, and I definitely saw improvements from this past year, and I think I'm just still in that. I think everyone those first couple years, you just kind of keep getting stronger, a little more technically proficient. So I just want to keep that going. We'll see where it takes me. So nothing.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Too set in stone.
The Schmo is on. The Schmo says, Sarah places at WAF. I'll take that bet right now if anyone wants to lose their money. There it is right there. You see that? There it is right there. No pressure, right?
Absolutely adore Schmo.
No pressure. No pressure.
Always
right?
in my corner. Thank you, Schmo. Thank you.
So the next question goes to, okay, Annie, what do you want to do in 2023? Tell us how. We all want to know.
Which way? Is it
I'm
this
not
way?
coordinated. I think
This way.
This way.
So I'm out of competition probably a little over 2 years, and it was interesting for me. I was watching one of my old matches, and it was against Danielle, and it was, I can't remember, left-handed or right-handed, and it was all ladies at it was the first all ladies at in Texas.
Yes.
And I watched it, and I was just kind of like, what is wrong with me? And like, it was so strange. It was like watching a completely different puller.
Yes.
And it hit me like, I don't know what happened between like competing since 2011 and like being super serious, and then I got married, became a mom, and like did all that thing. And then I don't know if like my fire kind of went away a little bit, or what happened. Like I've always been in the gym, and I'll go to practice and, you know, train and stuff. But like that intensity that I had, like the fire that I had, it was just not there. And I was like, what the hell? Right. And so I thought, I was like, that's not me. That's not me pulling. So I talked to some of my teammates, and they were like, yeah, where have you been? Like, why is it taking you so long to figure this out? Like, that's not you. Like, this, you know, figure your shit out or stuff. So,
this show is rated R. We're good.
Okay. So I really want to come in 2023, and I want to smash everybody.
Yes.
I want to see you.
Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I want to do that so bad.
Please.
Please
Come back.
So I'm not ready to and I think, I don't know, I saw a post like a while ago, something that I retired. No. Retirement means
you retired?
I don't know.
No one retires from arm wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to say, does anybody retire from arm wrestling? Let's be real.
No.
They take a break.
They take a break.
They step away, a hiatus maybe.
So
you're never fully on.
Right. So that's my plan. That's what I want to do. So I don't know which tournament I'll hit to. I definitely want to come out to California because there's some lady there.
Well, yeah.
So
yes, girl.
I want to travel more in the United States, and I would love. Sarah and I chatted to Sec about going to Worlds, but wife, mom stuff kind of changes things. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I get it. I want to see Candy Passmore in action in 2023.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you right
Come
now,
on, Candy.
she had called me before the show, and we were chit-chatting for a minute and stuff like that. And
Hey, Annie's coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Come on, Candy. Let's go. Let's get the ladies back.
I definitely am there. Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
We got some new ladies on the horizon. We got Sarah LaFawn. We got you always have Jolene Anderson. You always have Martha Swick, Leanne Wilson, Danielle. List goes on and on. There's another one in Texas, not Sarah. See how many Sarahs do you know, right?
Michelle Smart was at the Brazilian.
Michelle Smart,
she was talking about getting more active again. So I hope she does. She was great.
I want all the ladies to come back.
All of them.
All of them.
I want all the ladies watching right now. Go back and watch that John Brazilian Cup, and I think Utah Arm Wrestling had it on. They were on their go check them out on YouTube, and they'll have all the matches there. And I'm telling you, there was a lady from
19 women that day. It was awesome.
Yeah. Elizabeth, I think, what's her last name? Roick or
Mosek?
Yeah. What is it?
Mosek?
I think so.
Yeah, she's out of Texas.
Yeah.
And she kind of came burst onto the scene. And I'm thinking,
she's only a year in too. She's so strong. I think her left is stronger. But either way, she's strong on both arms. She's doing awesome for only a year in. She's wicked strong.
Yeah. I mean, those are the ladies you got to watch out for, because it's like going, it makes people go, the ladies, makes them kind of go, you know what? Let me put my name in the hat, see what I can do. And now, I'm not sure exactly. I have the flyer on my phone, exactly when the all ladies tournament is. But
it's April, right? April 27th, 6th, 7th, whatever that weekend is. I think April
22nd.
22nd.
Yeah. I'm like, you're going in and out, Annie. All I saw was 22, and I was like, oh yeah.
Also,
April 22nd.
Also, I think there were talks a few months ago about one in Florida, perhaps in January, February. Do you remember that? I think there was a promoter.
Yeah, they were. I don't remember. I
never saw an official flyer.
White Wolf, what's up?
White Wolf, a big fan. I love White Wolf, and I'm telling you right now, it's about to go mainstream. I got this gut feeling. I got a big gut these days during the holidays, but I got this gut feeling that the lid's going to come off for the ladies. I'm telling you, it's going to come off, and I'm telling you right now, it's going to be exciting. Even Paul Stevens out of California says his wife Erica's planning on going.
Erica.
There you go.
Yes.
I had a good heart-to-heart with Erica at the Olympia. Yeah, we need more women supporting women in arm wrestling. It needs to be there needs to be more. There's too much of this. So
okay, well, let's talk about that.
There needs to be more women wanting other women to get stronger.
Yeah.
Because if your opponent is coming at you at their best, you're going to be your best.
Right.
You don't want somebody coming in 50%, 40%, and then you beat them because they're not their best.
Right.
You want them to be their strongest.
Right.
You want them to be their healthiest. You want their IQ to just be crazy on the table, because then you get to actually use everything that you have.
Right. Well, since we're on the show, how do we go, where do we go? How do we start this? How do we, light the fire? How do we do this thing? Anyone got any ideas? Because I know
I think we just need time.
We can make ArmTalk. We can get some more. I can get some more ladies on the show, and then all of a sudden,
why not?
Y'all could chime on in or things like that, because now we have this. There's one platform to have. I think Sarah McKinney has a platform with the all ladies event.
Yeah.
After what I saw at the Brazil Cup, you said 19 ladies that were there.
Yeah, I think it really came down to having Gabby there and really advertising that early on, so people could make travel arrangements, because she's
Gabby,
hands down the best in the world right now. So everyone wants
Gabby
to know, even if it's beyond you, like, what does that feel like? And just meet her, pick her brain, pull with her after, whatever that may be. And I think, and then also knowing other women would be there too, because I think sometimes the discouraging thing is, like, there's been tournaments I've shown up where, like, there wasn't another woman, there wasn't even so much for me to pull. So like you start being like, you're gonna make travel plans and go, and like, I think sometimes the all women tournament does well, because the women know there will inherently be women there, because that's all that's going to be there. So I mean, sometimes that's on us a little bit of communicating with each other and like kind of networking with the women, of trying to like get us, like, I'm going to this one, you should come too, we all should go, and then just trying to promote it, and trying I think also, like, when you are at, like, I know in SoCal we do a big group practice of like all the SoCal teams the first Sunday of every month in Anaheim, and sometimes that's like a place where you can try to get new people to try it out. Like, I know Sarah's great with always trying to like get other strength people involved to like test out the table, like, that are into strength sports already. To it's just sometimes it's hard crossing that line into like dabbling and feeling it out, and then actually trying to compete or take it consistently and seriously. And I guess time, a lot of it is time, I guess. But I do think having women on some of these super match cards, I think, is helpful, because then it makes it very aware, like, you see them on the flyers, you see, like, so like it makes it more like present in people's mind that women are involved. Outside of that, I do think sometimes maybe reaching out to other sports, even just how, like, on the high level here now, a lot of men maybe retiring or finishing up like strongman or other sports, and maybe they're feeling like they can't do that anymore, but still want to be competitive, and they're already coming from a fitness background. I think that we could draw women from that too, that maybe certain injuries or certain things, maybe they feel like they can't hang with CrossFit or strongman or these things anymore, but they're still competitive and they're still fit and they could still arm wrestle. They're not injured to like Brian, they have like some shoulder injuries or something. I guess it's really up to us reaching out to these people and trying to invite them to team practices and things, and hopefully they get hooked. Hopefully they want to continue with it.
I actually have a strong woman at my gym at Sin City Iron, and she, her name is Brittany Diamond, and she's one of the most famous strong women. So she did the strongman competition and everything like that. You can see our teammate Benji. Benji put up a video of me and Jason training her. She wants to get into arm wrestling, just like Bridget said. She's kind of retired from powerlifting and from strongmen and from all this stuff because it's so hard on your body. Where arm wrestling is a sport.
It's much more isolated.
It's a longevity sport. It's more isolated. It's more, yes, you're using your entire body, but you're able to train not easier, but it's just not as stressful on your body as doing strongman.
and you can be
or powerlifting.
I think
or
you
anything
can be
like
competitive at a higher level later in your life, and I think there's certain things like that's just an idea because at least with people like that, they're already into strength and training and have that competitive thing. Because if you think about even arm wrestling, like I said, for men, if you look at like someone like Larry Wheels, who's got this massive social media following, that's then getting into arm wrestling. Like I'm sure there are so many men that got into arm wrestling because of him, or obviously Devin Larratt has just like a huge following of arm wrestlers and non-arm wrestlers. Like I feel like if we had a few women like that maybe already have a presence from other things that maybe if we could get some woman like that into arm wrestling, that would, I think, have maybe more influence on reaching women that might be interested. This is just maybe, I don't know.
We have a question from the Schmo for all three of y'all, and I'm gonna put it up there, and I want you to go first. It says, do ladies feel like folks in general aren't willing to help, share tips, etc., because they're worried about getting passed up, or are most people usually helpful to one another?
I actually have. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I gotta read it again. Do you think ladies feel like folks in general aren't as willing to help, share tips, etc., before they're worried about getting passed up, or are most people usually helpful to one another? In my experience, when I first started, I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and so when I first started, my coach was Justin Joyce and Jeff Hale, and they were
Jeff Hale.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Beast.
Yeah, he's an animal.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, thanks. But they were amazing. And anywhere that, they taught me, how to be smart on the table and, to learn from everyone. But of course, to question and not be 100% on what everybody says. So anywhere that I've gone, like everyone is always willing to teach me how to do things or be helpful. With ladies, I have found, and again, like I've only gone to like locally, like in Oklahoma and like to Texas to some practices or anything like that. But I don't want this to sound rude, but whenever I go, I feel that I am the senior person, the one who may know the most of table IQ. So to me, I have no problem helping others learn or tips to give or anything like that, men or women. Yet surprisingly, it's very hilarious that men don't actually take my tips or things like that too seriously, which drives me insane. But but I feel majority of ladies are supportive and are awesome with that. What I've noticed.
No, that makes sense.
You give me tips anytime, Annie.
I know, seriously.
Now, Sarah, Bridget, what you guys' experience about all this? As far as because sometimes guys can be weird like that. Like, they'll teach everything that but not necessarily teach everything that they know. Because there's always that little weird vibe where, okay, if I teach them everything, I might meet them at a tournament and. Because I don't want to get too far into it. There are guys like that out there. So,
I mean, there could also be some women like that out there too. For me personally, I love teaching. I love teaching people my little tricks. I love seeing people use the tricks that I teach them in tournaments. I've just always been like that. I've had a few ladies. I'm not going to name anybody because I'm not like that.
Right.
I've had a few ladies that kind of give me the cold shoulder, and they're like, yeah, but it's kind of one of those things where they're like, I don't want to teach you it, but I guess I can teach you it. It's kind of one of those cold shoulders type of things.
Ooh.
I actually, like Annie says, I actually have more problem with the guys than I do with the ladies.
How so?
Just because guys have this thing where, especially when it comes from a sport that's mainly men, they would rather
I guess
learn
masculine by nature.
Yeah, it's like this masculine thing that guys have, where they just don't want to learn from a woman, especially a woman that can pin them.
Oh, you mean like Lear and Wilson?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lee Aaron. You're amazing. I love you. Yeah, so when it comes to stuff like that, I feel like the guys take it not as easy as the women when you're giving them tips. And I agree with Annie 100%. It's just it's different between men and women.
Mika.
Mika is in the
It's
chat.
Yes.
Mika
I
says
love
hello,
you, Mika.
everyone. And
Wait
he'll be
until
on the
Annie comes
show.
back. She's gonna
He'll-
smash me.
Yeah, he'll be on the show right after we all get done here. So kudos to him. But I got a funny Lear story. You want to hear it?
Sure.
100%.
So
I love Lee Aaron. Everything
was
about her. She's
earlier
like
this spring,
one of my idols.
we were in Arizona for a tournament, the Arizona State Championships, and Arm Sport Entertainment. You know, Tim Talmadge, who also put on the mat. And Tim's another person now. He's a great person to get a hold of because this year he also put a ladies match on the marquee as far as the super matches. By the way, he did it twice this year. He did it in Arizona. He had Nancy Nations and Paige Williams, and then of course earlier this month he had Leanne Wilson taking on Martha Swick. So Tim's
We
another
sponsored this
great
one.
person to have
Oh yeah.
to get somebody out there. So we're in Arizona, the event's all said and done, and I'm like burnt to a crisp. I did the play-by-play and stuff, and I'm sore because I actually pulled a bunch of other guys, so I'm sore. And then Leanne was like, "Hey, you want to pull?" I was like, "Nah, I'm kind of beat up and stuff, And I was because I was pulling, Coach Ray and Tim and Robbie Tober. I was putting a lot. I was already just toast. Like my arms are done. They're over. And Leanne comes to me, "Hey, let's pull on the table," because she wanted to pull anybody that made any kind of eye contact with her.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I love her.
I said,
I love
Leanne,
her.
I'm sore and stuff. And what she said to me next got my respect. She says, "What are you, a pussy?" I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes, Aaron.
It kind of shook me at first. I'm like going, wow, because she had obviously she won the ladies division, but she also took third in the men's class
In the men's,
at her weight. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm like, and Leanne,
oh, I love her.
yeah, I mean, what can you
I love
say?
her.
What
What's
can you
not
say
to
about
like?
her? And it was cool, and that was like, okay. But talking about the mainstream, Tim Thomas is another good outlet to have because he can make sure, okay, ladies match. What am I looking at? He's going through he watches the matches, and sometimes he'll kind of get a hold of me and he'll say, "What do you think's a good match?" And I'll give him some names, I'll give him some ideas and see what where it goes, So, but yeah, it was a good funny story. Miss Annie, you have
Sounds like
fans.
Leanne.
You have fans.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, Summer.
Yes, well, there you go. So never.
You remember the story that I said about Lee Aaron, right? When I was at a tournament? Annie, did I ever tell you this story?
Okay. I don't know.
Okay, so at the Sin City Arm Fights, not Sin City Arm Fights, the tournament here in Vegas at Binion's.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like just the rankings event.
It was like April. Yeah. Was it April?
Yeah, April.
April. So this was this April. Lee Aaron before I was pulling everybody. I was hitting all the girls, everything like that. Leanne, I pulled with Leanne, and she pinned me. And I was like, okay, awesome. Because I knew she was going to beat me anyways.
Sure.
So I get off the table. The next time, before we got to the table, she literally grabbed my arm, pulled me aside, and was like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to get your act together. She was like, I see how you pull those other girls. You do not pull me the same. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want to have a match. And I was like, okay, Leanne.
So I got a question to piggyback on that comment.
I absolutely adore Leanne.
Do you think that, and this is, for you three ladies, that the question is, do you think that sometimes because you know who that person is, that can throw you off? Because
100%.
Yeah.
what you just said, oh, it's Leanne, she's supposed to win, I'm going to lose
he's
anyway.
Like, nope.
You've already lost it up here. I mean, how often does that happen with you ladies?
The only time that's ever happened to me is with Leanne.
Okay.
But I am a different arm wrestler now. I know it's only a few months from April.
Right.
But my mindset is different now.
Yeah.
Well, could it go differently? It could. It could. 100%. But at that tournament, I was scared to pull her. And she knew it. And that's why she yelled at me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her way of helping y'all, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because when
that's
she
her way of going,
calling them names, I'm like,
what is wrong with you? Get out of here. Go ahead, Annie.
I don't know. I don't think. I probably do or did have that a little bit. But I think that was more of just like Sarah said, you're a different puller, and like I mean, okay, so realistically, I have respect. So Angie Rose, for example, I practiced with her for the first time, and I met her. We went to practice with the Todds. It was really fun. Me, Sarah, and Rebecca and Angie were all there.
I was so jealous when I saw that. By the way,
and I was
so jealous
with Angie. I had met her once at Kansas City a tournament, but I never pulled her. And like, I already realistically knew, not that because I was bad, but I knew that she was that much better than me. But I wasn't gonna try any less. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have respect for her to know, I know where her level is and I know where my level is. And I'm realistic in that level, but I'm still not just going to get up there and just let her have it, in that kind of sense. So I think that is my mindset. I have the respect of the level of the athlete that I'm pulling, but I'm also not going to shit on myself just because they're at a higher level than me.
Yeah.
Right. Because you may show them something they've never seen before, and it doesn't matter how long you've been in this sport, some way, somehow, when you from a guy's perspective, you go to a tournament and all of a sudden, I get the after pull with like a Michael Todd or a Travis just to see, how strong they are. It doesn't change. For you ladies, it's the same thing. If Angie Rose there, let me pull her. If Gabby's there or Sarah Backman, Leanne, Jolie Anderson, the list goes on. And
you never know, they could underestimate you. Like you could, or you might be stronger than you think if you've never faced that person. Like
Michelle Dugan, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, the list goes on and on. So it's the same thing for you ladies too. So I think that when we go ahead and turn the calendar year over to 2023, I expect, big things. I expect to see more ladies super matches being, hey, it's not just the guys. Let's put some ladies on here also. Whether that would be King of the Table, whether that be East versus West, Arm Sports Entertainment, what have you. Because I guarantee you, Monster Factory, who knows who's going to be on the next one, right? So you know, we may see Sarah over there probably pulling for a Monster Factory title over there. But who's her opponent? We don't know.
Yeah, actually, Rebecca already said she wants me there, so she just has to find an opponent for me.
Oh, well, there you go. Was there somebody you looking for?
Yeah, Sarah, who are you looking for?
I mean, do you want me to say it? Because Rebecca said it on freaking Monster Factory, and I was like, Rebecca, no.
No, go ahead. Hey, I think I missed it, but go ahead.
It's been mentioned so many times.
I think most people know if they've fallen in love.
She wants me to go against Lee Aaron.
Okay, well, there you go.
Let's see it.
So,
and I was like,
and I think the next one, I was talking to Michael yesterday. We're kind of chatting back and forth, and it's tentatively for May 6th.
Oh, nice.
So, you know,
that means I have like 5 months.
Because guess what? Your boy might be there too. You never know.
Maybe I'll just be on 6.
Ooh, go, Jody.
Yeah,
maybe I'll be on like 5 or 6. I'll be ready then.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But the thing is though, and like, okay, so
we have to get Andy on there too.
Because if the all ladies tournament's in April, right?
That should be Annie's comeback. But not against me. Maybe her and me are.
Oh, there you go. See?
We'll do it. We'll do 2 different girls matches.
Okay.
Or just get a hold of Sarah McKinney and go, hey, maybe along with the all ladies tournament, you can high profile a super match, you know? Who knows? Maybe Elizabeth versus Candy Passmore, for example, something like that. Or hey, Annie's coming out party, put her against Danielle, whatever. You know what I mean? Just things like that. So just throwing stuff out there.
But again, like I said, for Worlds, you might as well shoot for the top. So if they end up wanting me to go against Lee Aaron and she smashes me, that's fine. I know where the top is.
Right.
In my weight class. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, if she's the top and I go against her, whether I win or lose, I know where I'm at.
Right. Now, do y'all keep track of rankings for the ladies or no?
I don't care.
What do you care? Like in for date wise or just
random? I mean, just in general, because we're competitors. And I know some way, somehow, y'all gotta sit there and if you happen to see rankings, and for some people it's not a big deal. But I gotta ask y'all, if you see some rankings, you kind of go, that's cool to be on there. But then you see people above you kind of go, huh, I know I can beat her. Does that cross your mind?
Yeah, no, I've seen that a lot.
I think I do. I think due to the amount of women, I think might be easier for us to have a general idea of where we stand.
Yeah, because there's not that many of us.
So at least regionally, you know, I think we tend to have a general idea of at least who's active of where we stand.
But again, you can have somebody like Annie come back and just smash everybody.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It's the same with the guys.
Yeah.
We technically don't know who the best is because some guy that's, you know, been what you would consider retired comes back 5 years later. I mean, look at Jerry. Look at Jerry Cataract.
Yeah.
He's a perfect example.
And then there's matches, win or lose, that could go a different way any other day.
Yeah.
Like matches that are really close. So
idea.
Rankings are cool because they can motivate people to maybe compete more or to have goals to rise in the rankings.
Yeah.
But I think they're in a constant state of flux. So who really knows? Especially
because arm wrestling is worldwide.
Right. I think it can be a double-edged sword, so to speak. And I'll say why, and I want you girls to, you know, answer the question. So I think it's a double-edged sword because it's cool to look at. It's water cooler talk on Monday morning, you know, but there are sometimes they can actually go against you because then to be at the top, you got to constantly go, okay, I got to compete at this tournament and that tournament and that tournament. And then, you know, you may not be able to make those tournaments, right? Because of family outings or, you know, because you have something else planned or you have to go on for work. And then
I'm sure Annie feels that too.
Right. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, well, I wish I was there, but I had to go do something else. We've all been there, done that before, you know?
Yeah.
Agree
That's
or disagree?
how I was with the Brazink Cup.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it.
I think though, yes, but I think I know that being a competitor in the sport, I know that though.
Mm-hmm.
So it is difficult to do, but I mean, so I thought like what they're doing in Texas with the ladies, like they're just growing and growing and growing and growing. And I think it's great that they have rankings because it is motivating for a state to like for people who might be just like kind of just starting out and they want to climb their little ladders. I'm not trying to do, but like ladder. Then once they get to their top, they're like, okay, now I'll go to nationals, and then they get to nationals, and now I'm gonna go to worlds. And see, like here in Oklahoma, there's only been like me, and then Sophie was here for a little bit. Jody, you know Sophie,
Yeah,
and you know beast. And then like she moved, and then it was just me for a while, and now it's me and Joyce. So there's only two of us. So it's like it's hard. It just depends, I think, on where you are.
Yeah.
Because like here in Oklahoma, like if every single tournament, like it's just me and her. So we have to compare ourselves each like other states rather than like the women just in Texas. They could just stay in Texas and pull all of these ladies.
Yeah, it's big enough there. It's a big enough state.
Yeah. So I think it's just different with like rankings and stuff like that. I think they can be helpful. And I think that like I said before, like I think like me still wanting to be active, but I'm a wife and a mother. Like I know that. And so that's part of the sport, part of it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll throw another name out there, Megan Blake. She's going to be
Mm-hmm.
you know, out there, you know, turning some heads and stuff like that. So, you know, again, I like what Sarah McKinney's doing. I think this year coming up will be what, the 4th annual or 3rd?
Third, I think.
Okay. So we have somebody like that. I think didn't Lori Cole go to one of them one year?
I
don't think so.
She's a legend. Like, you know, when you talk about lady, man, you know, Joyce King,
he gave,
you know, Lori Cole. Those are legendary ladies pullers, you know. So
yeah,
if she can come out there, my Lord, can you imagine the attendance? You know. So, but like I said, it's one of those things where you kind of go, you know what? I think things are going to get good. So I'll tell you what, you know, I'll do what I can. You know, if a flyer comes out, boom, I'm throwing it out there on social media. I'm calling up, hey, you want to be a guest on ArmTalk? You know, we could chit chat and stuff. To get more eyes on the show, you know. I mean, of course, I have the guys on, but you know, hey, get some more ladies on their involvement. I'll go ahead, I'll do that too. So just to help out if you want. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. So it's one of those deals, you know. So
I think if we get more women on shows like your show, Jody, I think it will show more women as well that we're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just in one state. I mean, you can literally go to every single state and find at least one girl.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
At least you can find one. You know, and all I'm going to say is I live in Vegas. Who doesn't want to come to Vegas? And you can train arm wrestling too.
Right.
I mean, come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go, ladies.
Yeah,
Come to Vegas.
I agree. Yeah. And then y'all can go kick it after that. Yeah, I totally get all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
I live 10 minutes away from the strip. Come on, ladies.
I think I don't know what. So since I've been pulling, there's probably been, other than the two that I mentioned, there's been probably half a dozen or 8 ladies who have come to practice with us, and they've come like once or twice, or they've even stayed like a couple of months, and then they're done.
Yeah,
I think like
because they don't like the pain of arm wrestling.
Well, yeah, but
pain or
because it's, so Sarah and I talked about this when we chatted. Like, There's
Yeah.
different levels of commitment.
Yep.
Right.
So like you can come to practice and pull and have fun and have a good time, and that is perfectly fine. But you can also come to practice, and then if you want to compete, you have to travel. That costs money, and that's
It's so expensive.
it's a big deal. So like
Yes.
a lot of women, I feel, and then there's the whole like mindset of women working out and having muscles and being manly and looking like dudes. Bullshit. That's
so dumb.
So
So dumb.
I think that plays a huge part in ladies getting involved in the sport. I think
They think they have to be that. They think they have to look strong,
right,
Or
to be strong.
Or they think like by training, like they're gonna suddenly look like a man.
They're gonna
Like,
suddenly look like the guys and walk
if only
around
it
like
were that
this.
easy,
I'm like,
I promise.
no, no,
that's
that's not how it works.
kind of the
That's not how it works.
whole. I think that's kind of like the general consensus of.
I would agree.
I think there's also some people that even if they're good with the training and good with committing to it, that then there's also some that just have nerves or an uncomfort with the tournament itself, like competing in front of people, accepting a loss. Like some people, it's harder to take those losses when you're starting out. And I think it takes a very arm wrestling, like there's a good chance you're going to take some losses. Like everyone's going to take losses, and like, can you handle that? Or like,
you got to take
the
losses
social
to
pressures of that. So if you get past all that, you get involved, you enjoy the arm wrestling, you don't mind the aches and pains that come with it, and you can commit to it, and then you compete. Like, can you handle those growing pains of being a beginner and being a newbie? But that's for anyone. That's meant to.
Those newbie pains suck.
But once you go through them, it's fine. Once you get through that first initial wave of the pain barrier, and you still want to compete, then you're good, So
yeah, that first 10 years, right, Jody?
Yeah, I'm at year what, 12. So yeah, I get it.
That first 10 years pain, right, Annie?
Oh, I'm good. I've been here.
She's like, I'm solid.
I'm feeling pretty good a year in. I think I'm.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, it's been nice. I'm glad you were able to make time to come on the show and stuff.
Of course.
Anything else you want to add before we put a bow tie on this episode?
I think I just wanted to mention, like, because I know you were mentioning Tim Talmadge and Arm Sports.
Yeah,
he's doing great things for encouraging women. Also, not just by putting them in the spotlight, either sponsoring them or having super matches, putting women on the card. He's really supportive and awesome like that, but also that he makes, because he's trying to grow women and there's so few of us out there right now, making it free for them to compete as tournaments are huge.
That's a big thing.
And a lot of us that are into arm wrestling, often our partners are into arm wrestling too. So like your pros, a good chance you're gonna get their husband or boyfriend or whatever. No.
He's like, no.
Nah. Okay, not everyone, but
nah.
But either way, I'm just saying, like, I think it's a great way to encourage women, because also then if you have those new women that are maybe a little on the fence about competing or showing up or not, or nervous about it, it's less of a commitment because it's free. It's like, go at it, give it a shot. So any arm sports, entertainment events, like any women's that want to try it, feel it out, or they're new or they're nervous,
it's a great event to go to.
And they're run super smoothly. All his events run so fast and efficient. Like, it's always a good day. It's always a good tournament with them. So that's another thing. If any other promoters want to think about that, I'm not just saying that to compete for free.
Yeah. No, I'm
I'm
also going to add to that too. With Arm Sport Entertainment, they were my sponsor for Monster Factory.
Yeah.
So they sent Jason and I to Monster Factory. It's absolutely amazing. Tim and Kayla are not saying that any of the other promoters aren't good, because all the promoters are good.
Right.
All of them are amazing. They're the fact that they use their own time to actually promote events and stuff like that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just for me personally, I love Tim and Kayla.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they are so good at promoting. They are so good at making sure everybody is happy, everybody is healthy. That's just how they are. I absolutely love those two.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're
The
some of
link's
the
right
best.
there in description. There you go.
Right there, guys. Right
Yeah.
there. Arm Sport Entertainment. I don't have my shirt on. I should have put my
Yeah.
sport shirt on.
I'll like one thing. I would and this could be like old school thinking, I don't know, but like if we want women to show up, we have to go to tournaments. We have to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Want to meet new ladies who go to arm wrestling tournaments who may be
Yep.
spouses of the guys who pull or friends or whoever, random people at wherever they are. We have to show up.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree. That's not old school, honey.
Okay.
That's truth.
That's those are the facts
That's
right
true.
there.
I
So,
try to
That's
be as,
facts.
as active
That's
as
not-
possible.
Honey, that is not old school.
No,
That is pure.
on the media, like that's how it sounds to me.
all right, ladies. Well, thank you very much. Just want to say thanks again, Annie, Sarah, Bridget, for joining me on the show. You girls enjoy yourself and have a awesome new year.
Well,
Yep. No, they're leaving.
I wanted to say
needs
that I support everything that you guys are doing. It's pretty awesome. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, honey. Thank you.
There it is. There it is.
Okay.
Annie, I'm gonna let you get on with your Friday night. Bridget,
All right.
Sarah,
Thanks.
you go ahead and get back to practicing, and we will talk to y'all soon.
Pleasant surprise.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, Jody. Thanks,
Yeah,
Bye,
no
Annie.
problem.
Jody.
Take care.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, Annie. Love you, girl.